Hi guys, welcome to the Wellness Collective's free yoga on Saturday. My name is Sam and I'm one of the yoga teachers at the Wellness Collective. And if you've been following along the past few weeks, I've been going through the yamas. And we're just going to be moving on with the next yama this week, which is Brahmacharya. And that's the fourth of the yamas. And just as a quick review, the yamas are the first limb of Patanjali's 8-limb path. And they lay out our moral obligations, the ways to interact with the world and people around us. And the 8-limb path first has us practice the yamas on our mat with ourselves. And then so that we can really start to feel the energy of that yama and so much more than just what the word means of, moderation. As you've seen or as you'll see, that these words have so much more meaning to them, so much more depth and such a broader use for them. And it's really just so that we get used to them on the mat so that we can better incorporate them off the mat when we're in actual life with other people doing things. If we practice them on the mat with ourselves, then we get into that habit, we build that strength up, and then it becomes easier to practice these things when we're off the mat in life. The yamas include ahimsa, which we did the first week of nonviolence, satya, which is truthfulness, asteya, which is non-stealing, brahmacharya, which is moderation or the right use of your energy, and aparigraha, which is non-attachment. And the actual literal meaning of brahmacharya can be broken down into two parts. The Brahma, which means like infinite or absoluteness, divinity, the universe, creator, things like that. And Karya, which means to move, to walk, or to live. So basically together, it's the path to divine, moving beyond the small attachments, and instead identifying with the infinite universe and the whole as one, and instead of the individual. And Brahmacharya is a way of living that's dedicated to the perception, understanding, and awareness of the divine. So in everything you do, you have this awareness that it's spiritual and it's divine. Everything we experience, everything we do, everything we say, every person we interact with, you are aware that there's divinity within that experience. There's divinity. That's what Brahmacharya is about. In ancient texts, it really meant celibacy. So you could focus all of your energy onto your studies and your spiritual development for a period of time. Sexual energy is a very extremely powerful, and the retention of that energy allows you to focus more towards walking your path. In the Yoga Sutras, Patanjali defines Brahmacharya as continence, self-restraint of body, mind, and speech. So just really controlling what you're taking in, controlling what you're saying, controlling what you're thinking, controlling your body, and just controlling your energy in a better way, which is basically, the right use of your energy, not being wasteful with what you use your body, your mind, and your speech for, so that you can save it for the most important journey, which is your path towards the divine, your path towards enlightenment, your path towards the infinite. And in today's world, we have so many more pleasures and temptations than just sex alone. And Brahmacharya really is about moderating your exposure and your experience with all the worldly pleasures, so you don't get distracted and taken off path. But at the end of the day, we're all still infinite spiritual beings living a human experience. And we're having this human experience for a reason, so that we can experience the pleasures that only humans get on earth. And so it's important to enjoy those pleasures, and that Brahmacharya isn't about denying yourself any joy from anything. It's just about walking that middle path and not indulging in wasteful excess, enjoying your life, but not becoming addicted or obsessed with any one single part, whether that's, one person, one food, one, activity, one, whatever it may be. Just, you're not getting obsessed, you're enjoying it and you appreciate it, and you're glad that you're having this human experience to experience it, because as a spiritual being, you're not able to experience those things. Maybe, who knows? I mean, we don't really know, but that's kind of, the thought. But it's really about walking that middle path and finding the balance with your life, with your work, with your play, with your family and yourself, so that you can more readily walk the path of least resistance towards the divine and towards what your dharma, your purpose, your evolution is supposed to be. Brahmacharya is walking towards the divine. The closer you get, the less you crave those pleasurable distractions. Because at the end of the day, that's what they are. We distract ourselves with food, with Netflix, with shopping, with eating, with whatnot, to distract from the question that's within us. Like, what's the point? Why are we here? What's the deal? Why are there people on earth? What's the point of a life? You know, et cetera, et cetera. That's like the big human question, you know, and we use these worldly pleasures to kind of distract ourselves so we don't have to sit with that question so intensely all the time. But the more that you get closer towards the divine, you get a better understanding and appreciation for life itself. And you start to unravel that mystery a little bit more. And so you start needing the distractions less and less because you're appreciating life for what it is, you know, and enjoying the mundane and the regal things in life that we're just like, oh my God, look at that bird. Like, that's fucking amazing. That bird can fly, you know? And when you start living with your true nature with Brahmacharya, and you have this understanding that you're not just your body, but you're divine light, a soul, a part of the whole and the whole in the part. And instead of getting attached and indulged in all those small pleasures and distractions, or identifying with, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a male, I'm a female, I'm a teacher, I'm a this, you know, you just, I'm a good person, I'm a bad person. You drop all those small identifications and you start identifying with the one, with the creator and the infinite. And the more you identify with the divine, the less you want any of those worldly pleasures and distractions because you need them less and less. And so in today's practice, just focus really on where your thoughts are. And are you present in this moment? Are you focusing any energy away from your practice for some reason? And it's also really important as we move on to the yamas that it's not just like a one and done, you know, oh, I did ahimsa on Monday, you know, I'm good for Friday. You know, we practice these things daily. And yes, we're doing them 1 week at a time. I'm introducing them, but we're supposed to still incorporate into our practice ahimsa, into our practice satya, into our practice asteya, in addition to brahmacharya. And so it's just about being mindful of all the previous ones that we've covered. And just notice what you're identifying with, what you're not identifying with. Do you feel that divinity within you, or do you struggle to feel that connection? Where's your energy at as you're moving through practice? Just be conscious of your thoughts, and whenever you need to, just adjust as necessary. And obviously, if you guys have any questions on brahmacharya or any of the yamas, you can feel free to reach out. I would love to discuss more of them. There's so much more in depth, and I could talk about the nuances of each of them forever, but that would take away a long time. So I'm just gonna get this set up. I'm gonna make my way over to the mat. Water real quick. We're going to start in Thunderbolt. So just coming onto our kneeling position at the back of our mat. We're just going to take some deep breaths in. Just let your body settle in to where you are. And try and think about what brahmacharya means for you today. As you inhale, lift your arms up like you're scooping the air. And as you exhale, bring it down through center. Do one more. Inhale up. Exhale. And scoop a little bit more air this time. Inhale up. Exhale down through center. Reset your intention for your practice today. Just be mindful of your energy, mindful your mind wandering, mindful of where you are. And of course, always honoring, listening to your body and what it needs today in this moment. So I'm just going to start with some neck circles. So your hands are on your knees. Just bring your right ear down to your right shoulder, your chin down to your chest, over to your left ear, and around. And inhale as you come up. Exhale as you come around. And you go the other side. Inhale as you come up. Exhale. And come back to center. Interlace your hands, lift them up over your head, and reach them over to the left side of your mat, pushing your hips over to the right, just getting that side stretch in the right body. Inhale back up, and exhale over to the right. Inhale up, release your hands down behind you. And just toss your head back, lift your chest up. Slight back bend. And release, walk your hands down, coming into your child's pose. You can leave your knees and your feet together, or you can open up your knees a little bit wider into a wide-legged child's pose. Just walk your fingertips towards the top of your mat as you push your sit bones back onto your heels. Next inhale, we're going to walk our hands over to the left side of our mat. Going to put your right hand on top of your left. That side stretch, body stretch, sorry. Now take this right hand and thread it through underneath the left, threading the needle in our child's pose. You can bring this left hand around the back, or you can leave it out in front. You can walk it over to the right corner for a little bit more of a stretch. Back to center. We're going to walk our hands over to the right now. Lift that right hand on top, that left hand on top of the right, and then that stretch in the left side body. Lift that left arm up and thread the needle through underneath right. Hooking those right fingertips over to the left corner of your mat. Or if you want to bring your hand behind, grab onto your thigh, and twist open that way. Back through center. Now we're just going to come up to our knees on our hands into our tabletop position. We're going to start doing some cat cows. So just inhale, bring your navel down to your mat, lift your chest up, look up. Exhale, round your shoulders, tuck your tailbone, navel to your spine. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round. You can go at your own pace here. Go faster or slower. You can add a little movement too if that feels good. The giraffe, go back and forth. And come to neutral spine. And we're going to lift that left leg up straight behind you. Lift that right arm out right in front of you. Just take a deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Next inhale, wrap your arm around, grab onto your left ankle. Push that left foot up towards the ceiling. Tiger pose. I'm going to try and keep your hips as square as possible, shoulders square, and release. Now we're going to bring it over to our upward airplane. So bring that left leg over to the left, out to the side so you're on the inside of your left foot. Inhale, lift up, turn onto the heel of your left foot so your toes are pointing up. Inhale up, Exhale, fold over, stretching over in our gate pose. Inhale, back up, bring that right hand down to the mat. That left hand reaches up and over. Now, for a side stretch on the other side. And back up over to the other side. And one more, coming down into our half modified half moon. Lifting that left leg up, that left arm up. Just taking a breath here. If it feels good, you want to bend that knee, grab onto that left foot. And release down. Come back over into our tabletop. We're going to do the other side. So inhale, lift that right leg out and that left arm. Inhale in. Release. Next inhale, bend that right leg, grab onto the right ankle with your left hand. Push up. And release. Float it over to the side in our upward airplane. Lift up, turn that foot over, fill that left arm up, reach over for our gate pose. Inhale, back up. Exhale, down to the other side. Inhale, back over. And coming into our half moon modification on the other side. You want to bend that right knee. And release. Coming back into our tabletop. Now from here, tuck your toes. And just lift your shins up a little bit more, just a little, like an inch or two off the mat. And just hold that, just warming up your abs. And release. And one more time, tuck your toes, lift your shins. And release. One more time, tuck your toes and push up to your down dog. Keeping your knees bent if you want, if that feels good. Pushing the mat away with your hands and your feet. Your shoulders are broad. Wrapping around your ribs. Pushing away from your mat. Walk out your dog if it feels good. Bending one knee, the other. Then just slowly walk your feet up towards your hands. Coming into our standing forward fold. From here, leave your left hand on the mat. And the left knee, look up, bring your right hand to the ceiling for that revolved forward fold. Looking up at your right fingertips. And release. Now we're gonna bring the right hand on the mat and the right knee. Left hand up, look up. Stretching that left hamstring a little bit more now. And release. And then just grab opposite elbows. Let gravity kind of pull your weight down towards your mat a little bit more. It feels good to swing here. You can swing side to side. Feels good to have a little bend in your knee. You could do that also. And now just release your hands and bring your chest to your knees. Slowly start to roll yourself up. One vertebrae at a time. Get to the top of your mat. Round your shoulders back. Take a deep inhale. Scooping the air again. And as you exhale, ride that breath down to your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, jump or step out to your plank. Exhale, down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale the right leg up. Sorry, my bracelet. The right leg up, straight behind you into our three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, back up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, back up. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Just opening the hips a little bit here. Letting that right foot hang. And step it back between your hands. Coming into your high lunge. Inhale, lifting your arms up. Back ball of your left foot. Your hands open into Cactus Pose. On your next exhale, we're going to straighten that front leg. Bring your hands together. So inhale, look up, cactus arms. Exhale, straighten legs, arms together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more, inhale. And coming into our regular lunge, bring that left foot down, a 45-degree angle, coming into our warrior one. Just bring that back foot down a 45, 35, whatever feels good kind of angle to you, but about between there. You want to try and get your hips to turn towards the front of your mat so that they're square. The hands are together over front. We're bending into that right front knee. Release our hands behind our back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold down. Lifting the fists towards the ceiling. Our humble warrior. You don't want to put your weight onto your leg, you're just putting it next to your leg. Inhale, back up. And now we can straighten that front leg. Coming into our pyramid pose, you can grab opposite elbows. Your hips are square towards the top of your mat. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold over. I'm like so thirsty. I'm sorry. So folding over that right leg, really stretching that right hamstring. Inhale, back up. Go, give yourself a slight back bend. And then we're going to bend into that right front leg, coming into our warrior three. And again, if you can't lift that back left leg all the way up, just work on balancing it like this. And eventually you'll get there. Just lift it as high as feels good for you. Eventually making your way over to a T position. And now bring your hands down to your mat, lifting that left leg up a little bit higher, coming into our standing split. You can grab onto your right ankle with your left hand or your right hand. Try to bring yourself in a little bit closer. Release both hands. We're gonna bring this back left leg knee into our right knee and tuck and lift back up. And a little Russian squat. One more, just tuck and lift back up. And we'll step back into our high lunge. Step back into your plank. Now come down onto your forearms into our forearm plank. Just take a breath here. And coming back up. And chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And we're on to the other side. So inhale, lift that left leg up. Your three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, back up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, back up. Exhale, bend the knees, stack the hips. And gravity, pull that left foot towards the ground. And inhale, step it through. Between your hands, coming into our high lunge. Inhale into your cactus arms. And exhale, straighten that left leg. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale. One more inhale. And as you exhale, bring that right foot down, 45-degree angle, wherever feels comfortable for you. I'm so thirsty, sorry. Coming into our warrior one on the other side. So really bending into that left knee. Hips are square towards the front. Back foot is down in a 45, 35, 25-degree angle. And release your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift back up. Straighten that front leg. You can bring that back leg in a little bit to adjust. Grab opposite elbows. Inhale, lift up. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, back up. Look up. And getting ready for your warrior one, bring your hands to heart center. Slowly lean into that left foot. Start to lift that right leg. Oops. Sometimes when I go slow, it's just focusing on that drishti point to help balance you. Release your hands down to the mat. That right leg up a little bit higher. You're standing split. And grab onto your left leg, your left ankle. A little bit higher each time. Release your hands to the mat. Russian squat, tucking that right knee into the left. Down, lift up. And again, and up, and one more time, and up. Step it back to our runner's lunge. Stepping into our plank. Exhale, come down onto your forearms. Inhale, back up. And back down to the forearms. You're going to bring your knees to the mat and just bring your knee out to the side a little bit into a half frog position. You can bring both knees out to the side a little bit and just let yourself hang on your forearms. So your chest is coming. We're just working on opening up those hips a little bit more. Sometimes it feels good if you have a pillow underneath you. You can really rest in this pose for a while. If you want to bring your chest all the way down to the mat, you can also do that. One more breath, inhale. And exhale, bring your hands back underneath your chest. Lift yourself up. Step your feet back into our upward dog. And exhale, lift your hips into our down dog. Inhale that right leg up. Exhale, step it through between your hands. And now leave the left hand down on the mat beside your right foot. And that right arm comes up in a revolved lunge. And now if we can just circle this arm, we're going to push it back behind you, forward. One more time, forward. And use it to lift yourself up into your revolved lunge. That right hand down the left leg, that left arm up and over. And back through center. Lower down that left knee to the mat into our low lunge. Opening up to the other side. That left arm, hand down for the left leg. That right arm up and over. And back to center. Now bring your right elbow onto your knee and bend that left knee. Just pull that foot in closer towards your hamstring. Have your right hand on your knee. Going to use both hands. Make it more square towards the front of your mat. And release. Now exhale, we're going to straighten that right leg and coming into our half splits. So again, we want to make sure that this left hip is over the left knee. And where this right leg is out straight, our foot is flexed. Inhaling our chest up. And folding from the waist, not folding like that. Folding from the waist so that we can get the full benefits of the stretch. And inhale to your low lunge again, looking up at the ceiling or straight in front of you. And one more. Straighten that right leg, our half splits. So you can fold a little bit farther this time. Release, back to your low lunge. Tuck the back left toes, coming into our runner's lunge. Inch that right foot all the way over to the edge of your mat. And come into our lizard pose. So come onto the outer edge of that right foot. You can see, and let this knee go open to the side. We're going to come down onto our forearms. You can leave that back leg lifted, or if you want to bring it down to the mat, that feels better. Just allow that right knee to open up to the right side. Going onto the edge of the right foot. Just staying here for a second. Coming back up to your hands. So leave your left hand on the mat and turn and grab your right hand for that left foot. Just bring it in closer towards your body for this version of a twisted lizard. We're stretching our right hip, our left hip, thighs. And release. And now you're just going to inch that the right foot, all the way over to the left side of your mat now, coming into our half pigeon pose. So again, this right foot, the shin doesn't have to be parallel with the top of your mat, but that's kind of what you're aiming for. That's what you're working towards. So you can bring it in as close to your body as feels good. What's more important is that our hips are square towards the front of the mat, and this back leg is out straight. From here, if it feels good to just stay lifted like this, you can. Or if you want to slowly walk your hands out, coming into your sleeping swan. I'm gonna get a sip of water while I'm in my sleeping swan. Just really let your body release in these poses. We hold so much tension, so much stress, so much trauma in our hips. These poses that really allow your body to just release your muscles. Releases so much more. Lift back up. Now we're going to bend this back leg. Just start to try and pull it in closer towards your body. If you can, hook it with your left elbow. And that's a sort of one-footed king pigeon. Then bring that right arm around to interlace with the left. Lift up. Just holding. Your chest lifted and up. You can lift towards the front too if that feels better. And open it up to the side. Release. Now bring this left foot and wrap it around so that it comes on top of the right. So our shins are parallel with each other, coming into our fire log pose. This is really good, just counter pose to kind of do the other side of the hips. So our shins are on top of each other. My left foot is on top of my right knee. My left knee is on top of my right foot. And again, just walk your hands down. I'm just stretching that hip a little bit. Back up. We're gonna undo our leg, step it back, and step that one back. Coming into our plank position. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Now we're gonna do the other side. So inhale that left leg up. Exhale, step it through between your hands. Putting the right hand down on the mat. The left hand up towards the ceiling. Looking up. Again, we're gonna bring that hand back towards behind us, towards the front. 1, 2, third one, lift up. Now revolved lunge. That left hand down to the right leg, right arm up. And back through center. Lower that right knee down to the mat. Opening up to the right side. And so the right hand comes behind you, left out in front of you. Bring this left hand to your knee. Bend the right knee. So you're bringing that right foot in closer towards your glutes. Bring both hands. Release. And we're going to straighten that left leg. Coming into our half splits on this side. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold over. Really feeling that stretch in your left hamstring. Make sure that right hip's square above the right knee. Inhale. Back to our low lunge. Focusing on your drishti point. And exhale. Half splits again, one more time. And bending from the waist, folding over. Really get you the most stretch for this. If you have blocks, obviously you can always use blocks too. Back to low lunge. Bring your hands to the inside of the left foot. Tuck the back right toes. Walk the left foot over to the left edge of your mat. And come down into our lizard pose. Bring that right leg down if that feels good. Just let this left hip open up. Up onto the right hand. Use that left hand. Use that left hand. Grab onto that right foot. So we're stretching that right hip, the left hip, the quads, our thighs. And release. And slowly walk that left foot over to the right side of our mat, coming into our half pigeon pose. And there are so many modifications for half pigeon pose. So if you ever have any trouble with them, please reach out. I can give you like 10 different kind of modifications, from blocks to blankets to pillows to everything in between. So don't struggle with it. Make it comfortable for yourself until you get comfortable in that position. Then you can move on, you know, but just build. You don't have to be at the end point right when you start. Slowly walk your hands out into our sleeping swan. Coming back up. Bending that back right leg, hooking onto it with our right elbow, pushing that left arm up and over. Eventually too, you can bring this into scorpion. But start where you're at and then worry about getting there later. But there's always another variation. So release. And bring that right leg. Bring it around so that our right shin is on top of our left. The right knee is on top of our left foot. And inhale. Exhale. Walk your hands down. And release back up. We're going to let our legs go out straight in front of us in our staff pose. So our shoulders are above our hips. Our legs are out straight in front. Our feet are flexed. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold over. And again, we're folding at our waist. We're not rounding like that. We're folding at our waist, keeping our spine straight and our chest lifted. If you have straps or if you have a towel or rope, really anything, you can also wrap those around, and that can kind of help until you get the flexibility there. Here's a strap here. So you just put it around your feet and inhale and just let it pull you closer, as close as you can get. A little bit more. And release. Now bring your hands right out a little bit outside your shoulders. We're just going to scooch towards the back of my mat. We're going to inhale, lift our hips up, coming into our reverse plank. So I'm going to try and bring your toes down to the mat if you can. If not, don't worry about it. Lift that right leg up. And release. And now lift that left leg up. And release. And back down. Now from here, we're going to put our feet on the floor, so the soles of our feet are flat on the floor behind us. And we're just going to slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time till we get to our mat, getting ready for our bridge pose. So you want your feet to be close to your glutes if possible. Your hands out to the side. Next inhale, we're going to push our hips up. Try and bring your shoulder blades together. Keeping your knees together. You don't want them slaying out open. You want to keep them together. Looking behind you or above you so you don't crunch your neck. Feels good to interlace your hands. You can do that. And release. Bring your knees into your chest. And release. And now we're going to come into our wheel pose, or you could do another bridge if that feels good. Wheel pose, bring your hands by your ears. Just inhale, lift up. Again, same thing. You want to keep your knees together. And try and extend as much as you can. One more breath in. And release down. Hug your knees into your chest. You can rock back and forth a little bit. Forward and back. And we're gonna then just push up to our shoulder stand, sorry. So push your legs up towards the ceiling. Bring your hands to the small of your back. And keep your feet together. Gonna flex your feet and come down into our plow pose. So bring your feet towards your mat. You can interlace your hands behind your back. Oops. Mine went down towards the block, which might be a good thing. And release slowly down one vertebrae at a time. until we come back up to our seating. Now we're going to come into our half Lord of the Fishes. I'm just going to turn to just show you this way. It's a little bit easier. Both of our legs are out straight in front of us. With right foot so that the sole of the right foot is on the outside of the left thigh. You can leave the left leg out straight in front of you, or if you want a little bit more, you can tuck it in underneath that right glute. Basically, to start off, just hug it in as you twist towards the side, looking over your right shoulder. If that feels good, you want a little bit more, you can use that left elbow to hook and push. Keeping the spine straight and the chest lifted. You can wrap that left arm around and reach for your bind. I'm not there yet, I'm still working on my bind, but eventually wrap it around. But again, you want to be straight, and I'm not straight right now, so I'm not ready for that. Release, legs out, switch them up. Left sole of your foot comes on the outside of your right thigh. Tuck that right leg in, hug into your chest. So look over your left shoulder. Use your right elbow to hook and twist a little bit more. Again. Reaching for it, but it's not going. Need a little bit more. But that's okay. I could do that like 3 weeks ago, but now I can't do it because I haven't done it. But that's like kind of just how yoga is. Your body is different every day. Release. Now we're going to slowly lower ourselves down to our mat. Bring the right knee into your chest. Grab onto the outside of the right foot or your right big toe. Bring into our half happy baby. And then you want to see if you can straighten that right leg out. See if you could bring it in closer towards your chest. And then bend your knee. Grab the outside of your right knee with your left hand and bring it over towards the left. Looking over your right fingertips. Allowing your body to decompress. Feel the tension built up. And release that right leg down. And bring the left leg into your chest. Come onto your left big toe or the outside of your left foot for half happy baby. And then back and forth. Let's slowly straighten your leg out. Try and bring it in closer towards your forehead, towards your chest. And bend that left leg. Come onto the outside of the left knee with the right hand and bring it down towards the right side of your mat. Looking over your left fingertips. Be present with your practice today. Feel the connection. Release. One inhale in. As you exhale, stretch out. Release. You settle into your savasana. Let your body just lay here for just a few minutes. Lay in reclined butterfly or just regular savasana. Feel the tingling sensations throughout your body. all that energy moving around, all that energy relaxing, recalibrating, redistributing. Your energy being restored, replenished. Because you took time to care for yourself, took time to do something for yourself. You guys can stay in Asana for as long as you like. It is recommended at least 5 or 10 minutes. But obviously you can get up whenever you're ready to. And I hope you enjoyed today's class. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm at Sam Cam Yoga or Sam Cameron on Facebook, I think. But yeah, reach out with any questions. I love talking yoga, I love talking yamas. So any questions, chat, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week.